Hey, I think we're live. This is only my second ever Google Hangout broadcast. Hello, welcome along. We're going to give it about a minute before we get into today's content. All about dieting, diets, what's the best for you, what's the worst for you, why you should do it, why you shouldn't do it, what to avoid, what to shoot for, all those things. But we've got about a minute and a half before the time we actually start. So if you haven't got a glass of water, go and grab a glass of water. And if you need to get pen and paper to make some notes, I suggest you do that. I'm just going to grab my water, actually. Let's grab that. Summer is on its way in the UK. It's starting to get warmer outside. I've got the t-shirt on, sun's out, guns out. We get in there, ladies and gentlemen. Which is good because, as you can see, I'm as white as a ghost from being inside pretty much all winter. We need to get a tan. Need to get your tan on in the summer. Okay, we're gonna go for it in about 15 seconds. So make sure you're comfy. Make sure you're ready. I was going to sit down for this, but I thought it's a subject I'm quite passionate about, and if I sit down, then I kind of fall into the body language of being sat down and quite calm. But I need to be up for this one. I need to be up and walking around because, like I said, I'm quite passionate about it. So yeah, I need to be up with the energy. I've got my upright desk, my stand-up desk here with everything on, so I can be up and talking to you. Okay, so welcome along. My name's Matt Smith. If you don't know who I am, I'm a personal trainer and success coach. I'm based in Droitwich and Worcester in the UK. And first of all, I want to say thank you again for joining me today on this Hangout, because you're dedicating your time, your most valuable asset, which you never ever get back. Okay, so again, I thank you very, very much, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, for taking time out of your life to join me today. And I hope that I give you something that you can take away. So some value. I really do hope I give you some value today. Okay, so as always, please give me your comments, your feedback. You can email me. In fact, don't email me. Go over to my Facebook page, facebook.com/MattSmith2310. Just let me know what you think of these. You can leave a comment on the YouTube channel, which is Matt the PT, I think, on YouTube, and also at Matt the PT on Twitter. So today we're talking all about diets. I've got a few sheets of notes here. And I'll tell you why I've got notes. Okay, usually I just talk from my passion. Okay, I just talk from my beliefs, my knowledge, my understanding, and I just go for it from there. But the diet industry is something that I haven't really got into great depth to research, just because it's something I don't agree with personally. And we're going to come on to that and the reasons why in a second. But basically, today we're going to be talking about dieting. We're going to be talking about the best diets. Not the best diets out there, but the best diets for you personally, you, the viewer watching this right now. We're going to go through the best diets for you. We're also going to look at the worst diet. So the one that you need to stay away for, the ones that you should stay away for or stay away from if you want to hit the goals that you want to hit. We're going to look at why this diet is the best, or that diet's the best, and why this diet's the worst, and why that diet's the worst. So you can go away at the end of this with a plan of action, saying, right, this is what I'm going to do to get my results. Okay, like I said, I'm going to try and provide as much value as I possibly can on this call today. So we're also going to delve into, unfortunately, a little bit of science. Okay, now I'm not too much of a sciencey geek. I'm more about like the practical application, the do. Of course, in my job, you do have to read up on stuff a little bit. So we're going to go into a little bit about the science of how the human body works, and just so we understand that if the human body works like this and I do this diet, I will get this response. Okay, because diet companies, trainers, coaches are very good at saying, do this diet because this diet does this, instead of saying your body does this, so choose something that is in line with what your body does. We're going to come on to this in a second. It'll all come clear to you. So that's basically what we're going to talk about today. Dieting, the best and worst that work for you. You're going to go away with a plan of action that's going to help you hit your goals. And we're going to look at a little bit about the science, which brings us on nicely to a little bit of the science, just so you understand what's going on with your body. Okay. And when I started researching and studying anatomy and physiology and hormones and how the body works, you start to understand a lot more. So then you're like, if I do this, I'm going to get that. Not because of what diet company says or trainer says, but because of what science says. Okay, now a lot of diet companies, trainers and coaches will spout science and research and studies. However, a lot of diet companies use their own studies, basically. For example, I know it's not in the dieting world, but the company that makes the vibration plates, I don't want to say the name of them because I could be sued for whatever these days, but it's a company that creates vibration plates, okay? And their study that says the vibration plate workout is 1.5 times better than doing a normal workout on the floor, their study was actually funded by the company Powerplate. Okay, so you look into that, whatever you want to look into that, and you take that how you want to take it, but those are the facts. So here's the deal. I just want to tell you a little bit about how your body works very, very quickly. So your body works like this, whether you like it or not. Weight, the weight of your body is determined pretty much by how many calories you ingest and how many calories you burn, okay? Calorie is a form of energy. If you eat more energy than you burn, your overall weight goes up for the most part. Now I'm talking general public, the rule, not the exception, okay? Just to clarify that. And then you've got the other end of the spectrum. If you burn more energy than you consume or than you eat and drink, you will lose weight, okay? I'm not trying to patronize people by saying this very simply, but it's key that we understand the terms weight loss, energy input versus energy output, fat loss, water retention, glycogen levels, okay, which we're going to come on to in a second. Now, I don't know whether you follow boxing or not, but boxers have to be a certain weight for their fight. Okay, let's say that they're fighting and that the weight class is 175 pounds to 185 pounds. Okay, if the boxer is 190 pounds and his weight limit is 185, if he's 190 pounds before the fight or before the weigh-in, his team will be able to get him to lose 5 pounds overnight. 5 pounds overnight of weight. Now, most females will go, what's the secret? What do I got to do that? However, as soon as he's done the weigh-in, the team will put on as much weight as they possibly can within 24 hours so that he's heavier for the fight. Why does he want to be heavier for the fight? So then when he leans on his opponent, he tires his opponent out. So he's probably going to put 5 pounds on, maybe even more in the next 24 hours. And you're like, oh no, tell me what that is so I can avoid doing that. But that's how easy it is to manipulate the weight. Now, if you get hung up on weight, then you're probably going to be disappointed with anything that you do. Whether you go on a diet, whether you eat super clean and healthy, whether you train, whether you don't train, whether you do high intensity interval training, whether you do sprints, whether you do marathon training, whether you do powerlifting, whether you do power walking, whether you do cycling, spin, swimming, trumpet, Zumba, whatever it is, if you go just by weight, I can pretty much guarantee you that you're not going to be happy with what happens with the result, okay? Now the media drives this. It's all about weight. It's all about pounds. It's all about kilos. It's all about the number on the scales. How much do you weigh? The NHS and the government are always like, well, let's fit you into all these different type of brackets. If you are this weight, it means you're healthy. If you are that weight, it means you're obese. If you are this weight, you're overweight. Okay. Most athletes are in the overweight category. However, most athletes have got bodies that everyone dreams of. So just to clarify, to start with, I would have you consider changing your goals from weight loss to looking awesome, from weight loss to feeling awesome, from weight loss to anything other than weight loss. And it goes back to, like I said, about the boxers. Because here's the thing, let's say you just did normal food, just your average diet for 8 weeks, okay? And then I came in and said to you, right, I want you to cut out all carbohydrates and all water for the next 48 hours. I can get you losing a lot of weight in those 48 hours just from cutting your carbohydrates and your water out. Could you cut carbohydrates and water out for the rest of your life? Of course you couldn't. You would in fact, yeah, you would die if you cut out water from your diet completely. You would die. You also probably would die if you didn't have any carbohydrates whatsoever. Okay, probably. There's no scientific study, I don't think, out there to back that claim up, but just common sense. So the point I'm making is this: your weight will fluctuate a lot depending on the food that you put into your body. However, the aesthetics, the muscle mass, the fat mass will change steadily, consistently, as long as you're consistent with the food that's going in and the exercise that you're doing. Okay, so the science with the body: calories in, calories out equals weight loss or weight gain or weight maintenance if the calories in versus calories out is the same. Okay, we kind of established that. Now there's one of my books. Let me give me 2 seconds, see if we can find it. This is really terrible practice, but I actually do want to quote. I actually do want to quote a study, and it's somewhere in this book. The book is Sports Nutrition, the complete guide to sports nutrition. Now, I probably can't find it, but the study basically was they conducted a study in terms of weight loss, and they got a group of people consuming exactly the same amount of calories. However, what they did was they split the calories up to one group of people had a high carbohydrate diet, and the other group had high protein. And basically the results were that the people that had the high carbohydrate diet, but the same amount of calories, lost weight. But I think it was 4/5 of their weight that they lost was muscle and water. I'm just trying to find the exact study. And the people that had, I can't find it, but the people that had, if I find it, I'll post a link to it. But the people that had the higher protein diet lost, I think 4/5 of their weight was something like just purely fat. Okay, so the weight that you actually lose is determined by the food that you eat. Okay, so here's what the body does. Okay, let's just define what metabolism is. This word is bandied around. Oh, he's got a high metabolism, she's got a slow metabolism, my metabolism is all over the place. Metabolism, again, this is general terms. This is the rule, not the exception. Your metabolism is defined by how much muscle you have on your body. Okay, for example, a competitive bodybuilder with lots of muscle is going to need about 6, 7, 8, sometimes 10,000 calories a day, because the amount of muscle that he's got, the amount of energy he's burning or she's burning every single day. Okay, now let's take a female who's dieted for 20, 30, 40 years and has just done cardio for 20, 30, 40 years and never really eaten protein because she's scared of putting on muscle. She's never lifted weights because she's scared of putting on muscle for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Her metabolism probably is going to be around 800 to 1200 calories a day, because she hasn't used her muscle. She hasn't stimulated the muscle growth. And she's just solely focused on weight loss. So again, if you're just solely focused on weight loss, you're going to run the risk of losing your muscle. You lose your muscle, you lose your metabolism. So whatever age you are right now, if you want to lose weight, chances are you want to lose fat from your body, not lose weight. For example, if you wanted to lose weight and I came along and said, right, how much weight do you want to lose? And you told me, oh, Matt, I want to lose 2 stone. And I chopped your right leg off. There you go, 2 stone gone. You just told me you wanted to lose 2 stone. How do you feel now? You'd be like, well, I haven't got a right leg, so I don't feel very good. And I'll be like, well, you told me you wanted to lose 2 stone. Get the scales, you're 2 stone less. So when you think about the definition that we need to use is, I would like to lose fat, okay? Because fat, for the most part, on the body is unhealthy for us, for the most part, okay? We do need fats in the body. We do need fats from our diet. We do not need excess fat on our body. Okay, it doesn't matter what weight you are, what the scales say. Let's say you look like the most amazing version of you that you have a picture of yourself in your head right now. So if you just close your eyes and you picture how you would love to look when you look in the mirror with no clothes on. Guys, if you want the 6-pack abs and the broad shoulders and the great arms and the good legs. And girls, if you want like a nice flat stomach and toned arms and a pert bum, or whatever the expression is, with no cellulite and just nice and firm, so that when you put all your clothes on, everything stays in the same place, and also when you take them off, everything stays in the same place. And imagine that version of you. It wouldn't matter what the scales say. So this misconception that I need to lose weight doesn't really exist when we think it's actually about how I want to look. So going back to the science again, your metabolism is based on how much muscle you have, okay? Now, your muscle stores what we call glycogen, in simple terms, carbohydrates. If you eat carbohydrates, first of all, they're going to go and get stored in your muscles. If your muscles are full, those excess carbohydrates, then if you keep eating them, will get stored in your fat cells, okay? That's, again, simple terms, science. Fill up your muscles, carbohydrates go into fat cells grow, require more energy, so you keep eating more, okay? Then we've got hormones. I don't want to get into hormones too much because we'll just go off course, because we could do a hangout or a show just on hormones alone. But basically, if your hormones are out of whack, you're not going to have a healthy body. If you don't have a healthy body, it's not going to look healthy on the outside. It's not going to look healthy on the inside. Your stress levels are going to be too high. Your testosterone levels are going to be too low. Your estrogen levels might go up. And guys, that's bad for you unless you want man boobs. Females, that's bad for you if you don't want a big bum. You need to get excess estrogen out of your body. Stress levels. If you have excess stress in your body, there are studies out there that prove that if you are excessively stressed, excessively stressed, you'll store body fat in and around your stomach. So guys, if you've got a bit of a, they call it a beer belly, I guarantee it's due to obviously consuming too many calories, but also your stress levels are too high. Okay, your stress levels are too high, it's very hard to lose fat. So basically, cortisol needs to be controlled. Testosterone needs to be as high as we can get it to stimulate muscle growth. Excess estrogen needs to be down. There's also two other hormones that we need to look at, and they're called leptin and ghrelin. Okay, now leptin and ghrelin. What are leptin and ghrelin? Well, leptin and ghrelin. So I'm just trying to find one of my pens to make some notes. And here it is. So leptin and ghrelin. What is leptin and ghrelin? Well, basically, leptin is your full hormone. Ghrelin is your hungry hormone. If ghrelin is up, you start to feel more hungry. If leptin is down, again, you feel more hungry. So we need to get leptin up and ghrelin down. Okay, ghrelin is easy to remember. It's like gremlins in your stomach. Now, ghrelin is elevated in the morning when your cortisol is highest, because then your body says, "Oh, give me some carbohydrates, some sugary, to kind of lower my stress levels or to fill me up," okay, which is a complete lie, because carbohydrates don't really fill you up. So there's the hormones you've got to watch out for, okay? You've got leptin and ghrelin. Leptin you want on your side, ghrelin you want to try and put to sleep as much as possible, or else they'll just keep you hungry and you'll keep eating calories. And remember, calories in versus calories out equals your weight, basically. Another thing I want to do just before we really get into diets and companies and what's out there at the moment is the definition of diet. Do you know what the definition of diet, the word diet, is? Now, the dictionary has definition of diet as this. Diet, the kinds of food that a person, animal, or community habitually eats. Then I want to look at habit, because it's a big, powerful word that's in there. Habit, a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. Okay, so think of a habit. Okay, one of your habits might be to moan when it rains. Okay, if I told you next time it rains I don't want you to moan, it might be quite a hard habit to give up. Okay, so that's just an example of a habit. The trigger of the habit obviously is the rain, the habit afterwards. We can change habits, and again, that's another show, another day. But I just wanted to, like I said, I just wanted to define, because people are like, diet, I'm going on a diet. Well, what's a diet? Diet is something that you habitually do, okay, or food that you habitually eat. And habit is something that is hard to give up. Okay? The diet is also defined as this: a course of food to which a person restricts themselves in order to lose weight. Now, if I give the option, restrict yourself, eat the food you enjoy, which would you choose? Restriction, eat the food you enjoy. And now you might have a belief that says, yeah, but I need to restrict myself if I'm going to lose weight. That's just a belief. That is not a fact. Okay, and again, we're going to talk about that in a second. Now, it's just important to understand the definitions of diet and restriction and habit, because it's basically what we do. Habits are things that we do, and if we're in a habit, if we don't understand that we are in a habit, it might be hard to get out of it. If we don't understand what diet is and what we're actually doing, it might be hard to get out of it. So people that go on diets are restricting themselves habitually. So they end up staying in a diet for maybe 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And studies show that people that go on diets are actually heavier 5 to 10 years later. I think it's about 80% of people that go on diets are heavier 5 to 10 years later. So is that a good price to pay? I don't know. And then there's the story in the news. So we're going to start talking a little bit about the diets and the companies and the things that are going on out there at the moment. Okay, so by the way, just on that note, I want to know if you've been on a diet in the past or you've dieted. You can go over to Facebook. My personal training page is Matt Smith Fitness, so you can go to there and just comment, or you can leave a comment on the YouTube video below. Have you dieted? What diets have you tried in the past? What's worked for you? What hasn't worked for you? And also feel free to message me over on Facebook, facebook.com/MattSmith2310, and just drop me a tweet as well at MattThePT. So a few shameless plugs over there for me to try and become a little bit more popular. Please help me do that. If you think that the stuff that I'm sharing is actually worth listening to, watching, reading, and sharing out to the world, then please feel free to connect and share it as well. Okay, because I'm trying to get my message across to eventually 1 billion people. Okay, and you can really help me do that if you share some of my stuff. So yeah, I really appreciate that. So anyway, right, let's move on. Story in the news recently: girl died from Herbalife. That's the headline. That's not fact. That's just the headline that I read, by the way. Girl died from Herbalife. I think it was the autopsy that showed that she had kidney damage and high amounts of lead in her kidneys, and she was a serial dieter. I'm not saying she diets just on cereals, but she was a serial dieter. She said she was addicted to, or becoming addicted to, Herbalife, should I say. Now, I was in two minds today whether to mention names of companies that are out there, because I don't want to advertise other companies. I do not want to put down other companies or slate other companies in any way. I'm just kind of going from what I've read and where I've read it from. So somewhere by this video, I'll put the links to the sources of the information that I have, just so it kind of stops me from becoming liable to any kind of lawsuits, because I really don't want that, by the way. I'm just sharing the information that I have. So that's apparently what's going on. Is the girl that died was linked to Herbalife. Again, whether it's true or not, I don't know. I'm just sharing what I found on the internet, and of course, because I found it on the internet, it makes it true. And on that note, by the way, we're very lazy as creatures. We're very lazy. We very oftentimes take things at face value and we go, that person said that, therefore it must be true. Everything that I say today, by the way, I would really like you to go and do your own independent research on it, and either disprove me if I'm wrong, and that's fine. And most of the time in my life I have been wrong. Only very few times I get stuff right, because I'm on a continuous journey of learning. So please, if I say something that you think, no, it doesn't quite fit, please go and research it and find out the facts, and feel free to share them with me, okay? Because again, I'm open to learning. I'm not saying everything I say is true here. I'm not saying that, that everything I say is gospel and you should go with everything that I say. I'm just voicing my opinions, and I'm very grateful to the media that lets me do that, okay? Like YouTube and Google Plus and Google Hangouts that run now. Anyway. So going back to some of the companies that are out there, I'm just going to name the companies, okay? Again, I haven't looked into the law. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but hey, here we go. So you've got a few companies out there at the moment, just a few that I've been drawn to. You've got the juice company out there called Juice Plus. Again, I really wanted to get a guest on this show today to talk to me through their studies and their research that they've done on these companies. I actually haven't done any of that. Now, you might say, well, Matt, you should be doing that. You're in the industry. But my beliefs are food, not powders and pills and potions, food off the shelf, eaten and chewed and digested is how we should live, is how we are designed to live. Those are my beliefs, which is why I haven't even gone near these companies, okay? Because I believe that for me, it's wasting my time researching them. So I really wanted to get somebody on here to talk about what they've done and the studies that they've done. I know a bit about them, but not too much. But you've got Juice Plus out there, okay? There's also another one, the Herbalife one, we just spoke about that before. And then you've also got the dieting companies. So you've got like your Weight Watchers, your Slimming World. Then you've got things like Cambridge. And then you've got, I think, Forever Living as another one. Now, that's a company I did look into because when I first started out in this industry, I got asked to go along to one of their events evenings. And again, this is just fact that I know because I've actually been there and experienced it. So what happens at one of these evenings is you get asked and invited to come along by one of their sales reps, okay? Now, this is actually a girl that I knew. She's a very, very nice girl. She's a mom. Other half goes out and works. I'm not sure, actually too sure what she does, and she might be watching this, and I don't want to offend anybody or offend her. But she basically said, I've got a great opportunity for you. I know you're in the fitness industry. Why don't you come along to an evening with us? Great. So go along to an evening and sit there. And they've got all these Forever Living banners and products and all the big sales spiel of we change your life, ultimate health and vitality. It's all aloe vera from the plants of Ecuador and all this stuff. And then they get a few people up to say, oh, yeah, I've tested this product, that product, the other products. And the products are all working really, really well for me. And I'm in the best shape of my life. And by the way, nobody there was in the best shape of their life. But they were just saying that they were. And they were all kind of middle-aged people, from what I gathered, didn't really have like a job or career, or they were just doing a bit. Anyway, it comes down to it that they say if you want to join, oh no, actually, let me rewind a bit. There's this big sales pitch of this is James. He's been in the company 3 months and he's already taking checks home of £100,000 a month or something crazy like this. And you might go, whoa, how do I get involved with this company? And basically what it is, it's either a pyramid or multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. What basically happens is James would have started in that company 3 months ago. And then he told all his friends about this company and made them buy into the company under his name. And then he tells them to go and get all their friends on board. And then they get all their friends on board. So he goes higher up the chain while you've got all the people below him, and he makes money off every person below them who sells the products, basically. So that's how multi-level marketing or pyramid schemes work. Okay, and you might think, oh, well, it's a great business. It's good for money. It's kind of all it is good for is making money. You piss a lot of people off because you're constantly being told to hammer all your friends and family and your relatives and your circle of influence, and you're telling them to sell these products and how good they are and stuff. And when you actually research the products, there's elements of good nutrition in there, but it's pretty much trace elements of them. They say, oh, it's fortified with vitamin C and aloe vera gel, and yeah, but it's in the smallest quantities. Because here's the facts, okay? Let's try and draw it out for you. Here's the facts from what I know from these companies, okay? This is how the company makes money, the people make money, and this is what goes on. So you got the guy at the top, at the very top of the company. He is here, right at the top, okay? Then what he does is he discovers this product, this aloe vera gel, and says, oh, that's good. I'm going to tell 2 more people about this company, okay? I'm not sure if you can see that with the sun, but you've kind of got 2 more people kind of here and here. And then he says to them, hey, because it's so good, why don't you tell 3 or 4 of your friends? So then they go, right, fantastic, I'll tell these. And this guy says, okay, I'm going to tell these as well. Okay, so the guy at the top becomes 2, becomes 6, and then before you know it, they're telling 3 friends, they're telling 3 friends, and before you know it, you've got down at the bottom of the pool here, the people that I went to this kind of this events evening with. They're one of a lot of people down here, okay? But then what happens is they have someone above them, they have someone above them, they have someone above them, they have someone above them who is eventually an area manager, who's then eventually a district manager, a country or a national manager. Then you've got like Europe or Asia or anything like that manager, and then you've got the CEO, the directors, the shareholders. Now let's imagine you have a product that is £30, okay? A bottle of this aloe vera stuff, £30. It's an amazing product with the best quality ingredients sourced from the rainforests of Nepal. I don't even know if there's rainforests in Nepal. Or the Himalayas, and the salt from the Himalayas and all this stuff. And what happens is then is this £30 product that you buy, you give the company £30 for. Everybody in that funnel that we've just shown you takes a cut from that £30 product. Now tell me, if there's Even if there's 20 people taking a cut from this product going all the way up, after the company has paid the suppliers to deliver it, after the company have paid for the product to be actually put into a bottle and the label and the designers and the people that design all the websites and stuff, how much money do you think has gone into that product that you just paid £30 for? This is just what I know, by the way. This is my personal experience. I might be completely wrong with all those numbers and all the people that are involved, and it's probably going to get a backlash of comments from people that are involved with things like multi-level marketing and things like that. But yeah, I just want to try and put that out there. That's what goes on with these big companies. So the next time someone approaches you and says, go on one of these detoxes or whatever, just kind of question what you're paying for. Ask them to actually give you backed up research from independent studies on the ingredients in it. Don't just go with them saying, go on this 9-day detox and you're going to feel amazing after 9 days. Great. What happens after the 9 days? You're going to stay on that stuff? No, you're going to go back to the food that you were eating before. That's going to put you back to where you were. Again, just my personal opinion. You might not, and there might be people out there that this has changed lives for. And there might be people out there, like I said, that have had their lives changed and illnesses completely eradicated and diseases gone from going on these multi-level marketing products and big multi-billion-pound companies. Okay, so again, if that's you, I'd love to hear from you. I'm not just about bashing these companies. I want to hear both ends of the spectrum. Now, of course, then you've got, like I said, the Weight Watchers and the slimming world. I actually think there's a place for these companies. I really genuinely do. People that have no idea when it comes to dieting or nutrition whatsoever. For example, I was speaking to a lady the other day. She came into PT with me. I said, okay, where'd you get your 5 a day from? She said, oh, I have crisps as a snack mid-morning. I was like, okay, so where'd you get your 5 a day from? She's like, oh, that's one of my 5 a day, isn't it? I was like, sorry, crisps, one of your 5 a day? And she said, yeah, that's it's potato. Potato's a vegetable. That's one of my 5 a day, isn't it? Now, for those of you that don't know, then unfortunately, no, crisps aren't one of your 5 a day. They don't have the amount of vitamins and minerals in them to be classed as one of your 5 a day. Okay, but that's basically the educate. Now, you might be thinking, oh my God, stupid woman, of course crisps aren't one of your 5 a day. It's just the state of the world. Okay, it's the education of the world. They don't get that education. People don't get that education around nutrition. We have to learn about Shakespeare in school, but we don't learn about actually correct nutrition. Work that one out. Again, that's another topic for another day. So they kind of had their place for people like that have no idea with nutrition whatsoever. It's a starting ground. You'll never find an athlete, by the way, doing any of these multi-level marketing companies. You'll never get athletes that are on Slimming World or Weight Watchers. It just doesn't work. Now, again, there might be people out there that have lost 5, 6, 10 stone through Weight Watchers and Slim World, and that's cool. However, you probably could have done that without them. Just by eating food that grows in the ground, flies in the air, swims in the sea, or grows on trees. I think I've kind of said that. You could have done that with that and water and a little bit of exercise. Okay. How professional. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Let me just pop that off there. I will just message them back. You might be thinking, what's this guy doing? He's supposed to be live on thing. He's on his phone. How unprofessional. Hey, here's the deal in life. If you can't be you in life, you won't be happy. This is just me, by the way, that I might be unprofessional. And if you were thinking maybe of working with me and you wanted me to be this cardboard cutout and Mr. Professional, and I'm sorry, I'm not, and we wouldn't have had a good relationship. However, if you're a bit more laid back like me, and you think, that's cool, you should check his phone. If you forgot to turn it off, we all make mistakes, then we're probably going to have a good relationship together. So, let's say 3 p.m. There we go. Done. That's off. There we go. Superb. Okay, so lesson learned for next time. When something bad happens, you learn a lesson from it. You don't. It's never. In fact, when something bad happens, when something happens, it's neither good or bad. It is just a lesson. So my lesson for next time is make sure you get your phone off when you're broadcasting live on air. Okay, so back to where we were. Like I said, I'm not here to slam the Slimming World, the Weight Watchers, and things like that. What I am here to do is draw attention to what they do, the quality of the products, the ingredients that are in the products. And for example, just on that note, ingredients in the products, if you Google ingredients list, I think ingredients list, Weight Watchers shepherd's pie. Now here's a quiz for you, okay? Here's a live quiz on air. How many ingredients are in a shepherd's pie? How many ingredients in a shepherd's pie? Let's go through it together. You've got the mince, okay? Then you've got the peas, maybe. You might put carrots in there, you might put onions in there, potato, definitely. And then you've got maybe the gravy, salt, pepper, some seasoning. What else can we throw in there? Let's put something else in there. I don't know, red wine for the red wine gravy. That's maybe 10, okay? 10 ingredients. The Weight Watchers version of shepherd's pie has 72 different ingredients in it. Most of them I can't pronounce. So just be aware of what you're putting in your body. Your body's the only place you're ever going to live. Take care of it. Please, you owe it to yourself. So that's kind of the section that I wanted to cover today on the companies that are out there. I know I haven't gone too in depth again. I don't want it to seem like a rant on these companies. I just wanted to make people aware that basically it's media, it's advertising. They're out to make as much money as they possibly can. Okay, they say they care about their end user and the health of their end user. If they did, they wouldn't put any chemicals in their products. They would basically just blend up food. Excuse me. They might just blend it a bit too much water in there. They would just blend up actual food and sell and package that, but there's no money in that, so they don't. You can get all your nutrients from actual food, stuff from the ground, okay? And the reason most companies say this is they say must be used in conjunction with a balanced diet. That's because the stuff they're selling you is rubbish, and you need the nutrients and stuff from your actual food that you should be eating. Okay, so where do we go from here? Let's look at the perfect diet for you, okay? So the perfect diet for you, what is it? Now, I would suggest eating foods you enjoy. I would suggest eating foods that are going to get you the results that you want. Now, there's a sacrifice. There is a sacrifice, because you might just say to me, well, wow, I just enjoy eating chocolate cake and that's it. Well, unfortunately, you're not going to get the results you want if you enjoy chocolate cake. Okay, it's not going to happen. However, you can still have some chocolate cake in your diet and still get to the weight you want to get to. It doesn't have to be restricted. I don't restrict myself. I don't restrict my clients. 2013, when I got down to 5% body fat for my holiday, I wanted to see just what shape I could get into. And this year, 2015, I'm going to be in even better shape than that. I didn't restrict myself. I think halfway through my training to get in shape for my holiday, we went up to Blackpool. There was 3 of us who had birthdays around the same time of year. We went up to Blackpool. It was burger, pizza, and beer for the whole weekend. And I still managed to get down to 5% body fat. And thousands of other people have done it as well. So the best diet for you, I would write down every single food that you enjoy eating. Okay, now that could be just everything. Okay, I'm not going to give you examples. You know what food you enjoy eating and what food you don't enjoy eating. Then I want you to write down what your goals are and why your goals are important to you. Then I'd like you to look at what you're willing to do to get to those goals. What's more important? Is going out every weekend, consuming 5,000 calories of alcohol and eating takeaway foods more important than feeling good without many clothes on in the summer, or feeling good in bed with your partner? What's more important? Where's the sacrifice? Where's the payoff? What do you want out of it? Look for the end goal. The other day I was down in the kitchen and I was so busy through the morning. It got to about 11 o'clock and I hadn't eaten yet, and felt my tummy going. I was like, oh, you're starting to get hungry. I thought, okay, well, what do I want? So I opened the fridge and there was some cheese in there. And I knew we got some bread in the freezer, and I was just like, oh, cheese toasty would be awesome right now. And although I do eat cheese toasties, I thought cheese toast would be awesome. But then I was like, no, I made a commitment, put it out there to the world that 2015, I'm going to be in the shape of my life. And I just thought then, what's going to help me get to my goal? Is cheese toasty going to help me get to my goal? I was like, no, probably. But then I thought, hang on a minute, what's the alternative to a cheese toasty? Then I noticed there were some eggs. So I can have scrambled eggs with some spinach and some olive oil drizzled over it with some pepper and a little bit of cheesing with the scrambled eggs. And I thought, now that's a better choice. So I haven't deprived myself of food. I just made a better choice. So I've got a lot more protein, a lot more healthy fats, and less carbohydrates than what I'd have had if I'd have had the cheese toasty, okay, which not much protein, more fats and more carbohydrates, okay? So a diet that's going to work for you is one that fits in with your numbers to start with, because it's all about numbers, okay? So you work out how many calories that you need, and then you basically just have less calories than you need, but it's using the right foods, because remember we spoke about metabolism before. If you don't have foods that are going to keep your muscle or even stimulate muscle growth, you're going to lose your muscle. You lose your muscle, you lose your metabolism. You lose your metabolism, it's bloody hard to lose weight long term, okay? Now, you might be saying, well, I've got a holiday in 4 weeks' time. Great, you'll have another holiday the year after, and probably the year after that, and probably 10, 20, 30, 40 years after that. Is it worth going on a crazy restrictive diet now, just for 4 weeks, and doing shitloads of cardio and losing all your muscle, just so you can look a little bit better in 4 weeks' time, but then go and stuff your face on the buffet cart? Or is it worth just manipulating your diet slightly, so you have slightly lower carbohydrates on a few days, and make sure you keep your protein up, still having lower calories, doing some training that's actually going to stimulate and keep your muscles, so you've actually got better shape and you feel firmer and more toned, and you've got more energy and you've got more glow in your skin because you're actually eating proper foods and you're drinking water instead of some rubber shake. Shouldn't have said rubber shake. That was just my natural reaction to that. Again, that's just my personal opinion of them. Again, I've never taken them, athletes never taken them. And if you sat there saying, by the way, oh yeah, but I've seen Cristiano Ronaldo on the Herbalife advert, come on, seriously, wake up. Do you think he's done that for free? Do you think every day he's on Herbalife stuff? Honestly, you need to give yourself a big hard slap around the face if you think that that is the case. He is paid millions to say what he says about Herbalife. Whether you like it or not, he's paid a lot of money. Us as human beings, we are, like I said, we're very lazy. So if you have two choices to make and something is exactly the same and you go, right, do I go choice A or choice B? And they're exactly the same, your body tries to look for other ways in which that it can make a choice. So it doesn't know how to make a choice if something's exactly the same. You probably go, oh, I don't know. But then if a celebrity was stood by this one and said, I use this, all of a sudden this one's just, it's not even in your mind. You go, celebrity, I'm going to do that. We look for associations with products. It's what we do as human beings. So that's why companies spend a lot of money getting celebrities and well-known people to endorse their products, to put their name on their products, to sign something to do with their products. Listen, if I had the money, I'd do exactly the same. I'd have Richard Branson say, yeah, Matt Smith's my business coach. I'd have Jessica Ennis saying, yeah, Matt Smith's my personal trainer. I'd pay them to say that. Even if I was or wasn't, I'd pay them to say that. Everybody has a price. Think how busy I would be if Richard Branson was here right now with me and said, yeah, Matt's my business coach. And Jessica Ennis here saying, yeah, Matt's my personal trainer. You're like, who is this guy? I want to work with him. I want to give him some more money, regardless of the product. Okay. But you knew that you're a smart cookie. How do I know you're smart? Because you're here today. So we're going to wrap this show up today. Again, any questions that you've got, any comments that you've got about diet, nutrition, anything that's worked for you, that hasn't worked for you, then please feel free to share your comments somewhere around this video. I'd love to hear from you. Facebook.com/MattSmith2310. My personal training page is Matt Smith Fitness over on Facebook. You can find me if you're in and around the Droitwich area at mypersonaltrainer.droitwich.co.uk. Twitter at Matt the PT. All the links are somewhere by this video anyway. Thank you very, very much for your time. I hope that's been informative. I hope it's helped. The takeaway message is this: research what you're about to put into your body. Please do not be lazy about what you're about to put into your body. Think of the consequences of doing what you're doing, the consequences of your actions. We're forever telling our kids, why don't you think before you act? But as parents, we don't do it. We see someone endorse something, the next best thing, the next quick fix, the next silver bullet or magic bullet, whatever you call it. We go, that's going to work for me. Here's the thing that works is always the thing that's worked forever, for long term. Okay? Trends come around, they come and go. The diet industry will be worth billions for ever and ever, because they play on our emotions, they play on our evolution. We're designed to eat. Okay? Our ancestors, when they saw food, they would eat it. because they didn't know when the next meal was coming. We're still programmed like that, which is why whenever you've gone out to an all you can eat, you grab everything, because there's a bit of your brain that says go and grab everything. You don't know when you're going to eat next. It's still programmed into there whether you'd like it or not. Okay, so there's your excuse. Next time you're at a buffet cart and you kind of fill your plate and someone says, well, you got a lot on your plate. Hey, it's not me, it's my ancestors that's made me do that. It's my genealogy. It's the evolution of the human species, and it definitely is. But the good thing is logic will tell you the next meal's coming, so you don't need to pile it on the plates. Okay, logic would tell you that products that are made in a factory, that are sold through a tier system or a pyramid system where everybody gets a cut of the product that you buy, would tell you, logic would tell you that the product can't actually be the quality that they're telling you that it is. Okay, so be smart, be wise. Don't be lazy when it comes to researching what you want. Imagine if I told you to go and buy a car. You're not just going to listen to the first car salesman, but the first car salesman that says this is the best car in the world. You really need to take this one. David Beckham's been for a drive in it. You're going to go, hang on a minute, what's its miles per gallon? What's the history of this company? Maybe, okay. What's the tax, the MOT on it? You're going to do a bit of investigation. And I implore you to do that the next time you think of going on a diet or restricting yourself, okay? I implore you to understand that your body likes protein. It needs healthy fats. It needs actually food to be digested through the stomach and the small intestine. It doesn't need just juice, just fluid. Okay, they have their places. They do have their benefits. They really genuinely do. But remember, you're on this planet for more than 7 days. You're on this planet for more than 28 days. You're on this planet for more than 9 days, or however long these detoxes are. Your liver detoxes your body for you anyway. It's what it was put in your body for. You don't need foods to detox your body. You just need to eat foods that are going to get you to the goal that you want to get to, or give you more health, give you more vitality, not pay into these companies. That's my personal beliefs. It's my experience. So go forth, be strong, don't be lazy, make the right choices. Keep me updated with how you're going. At Matt the PT on Twitter, facebook.com/MattSmith2310 if you want to chat with me on there. Matt Smith Fitness over on Facebook as well. Take care. Thank you very much for giving me your time today. I hope that's helped you, and I will speak to you soon.